either movement. And she pushed it all away, and she wanted it known that she had never had an abortion. She wanted everyone to know that she'd actually had 3 children.
Well, the other aspect of the story, I mean, you described these sort of big feelings, and particularly how so many women have been, how can we put this, captive of forces beyond their choice and control, right?
Yeah.
But one of the points you make in the book is that this kind of extended to Shelley. There was this ongoing effort to use her
Yeah.
for various people's purposes, including her mother's purposes.
Absolutely.
And how does she think about that now?
So she came to realize a few days before she was 19, when she was alerted to who her biological mother was, that people saw her as a symbol. It was the National Enquirer that sort of tracked her down. And the investigator and the reporter said, you know, the pro-life community wants to show you off as a happy, living, healthy individual. And she wanted no part of that. She was actually sort of conflicted herself, much like her biological mother. She had an unwanted pregnancy herself a few years later, before she was married, and she felt that abortion, as she put it, was not part of who I am. And she didn't have an abortion. She believed that a woman should have the right to choose. So that experience sort of deepened her thinking on it, as one would imagine it would. And most importantly, though, she wanted no part, as I say, of what the pro-life saw in her, this symbol, as somebody who embodied their argument against abortion, someone who was the incarnation of that argument. If anything, she told me, she represented what it is to be born unwanted. Of course, while there are tens of millions of children who are sadly born unwanted, only her conception had led to Roe. And so she carried a burden that was really unique.
You call it an American story. The title of your book is The Family Roe, an American story. Why do you say that?
Well, the family really refers here to 2 different families. There's the family that Norma had, a broken family, Norma and the 3 children she relinquished to adoption. But then there's also the much larger family, as I see it, the tens of millions of people who are on either side of this issue. And what's fascinating to me is that Norma was the only thing that the pro-choice and the pro-life sort of had in common, because she'd started off on one side and gone to the other. And what I tried to do was tell the larger story through the smaller story. And as I say, you know, Norma's family, her immediate family, was sort of rent and riven by the incompatibility, as she saw it, of sex and religion. And that is the exact same thing in my mind that has brought America apart, pulled America apart on this issue. And so by humanizing the issue, by enabling people to look at abortion not through politics but people, I tried to sort of shine a light on how America got to this sad point.
Well, you know, the time